Yeah, hello everyone. Um, Going to start off the Vagrant story run for you now. We decided to do the category New Game Plus for any percent because it's really marathon friendly. We got equipment where we one-shot pretty much everything in the whole game, so it shouldn't be a huge issue. Most likely, I will just have some troubles with some of the platforming sections, but it's a nice RPG from Square and with great graphics on the PlayStation 1. I'd say, yeah, let's get it started off. I got on commentary my brother Christo, so we can.
Hi,
Sorry.
hi everyone.
Yeah, he will help me out a bit as I've got a bit of a cold there. So I won't talk that much. But yeah, let's get right into it. For New Game Plus, of course, I use a cleared game, and the time starts as soon as we confirm and go.
Okay. So, starting off, I guess a few little comments would be in order. Amen, of course, already in the start skips every cutscene that is skippable. I don't remember if there even was any cutscene which is not skippable except for boss introductions. Takes quite a lot of time. Plus, of course, a Square game. There are quite a lot of cutscenes. And we start off maybe let's say a few things about the setting first. This game takes place in Leamont, which is a city, or more or less a old city in the Kingdom of Valendia. Which retroactively was said to take place in Ivalice, which you might know from for example, Final Fantasy Tactics or Final Fantasy 12. So pretty much any Final Fantasy game that Yasumi Matsuno was the director on, which was also the director of Vagrant Story. You always see the similarities there with the names of weapons and names of like spells and whatnot, items, everything. So yeah, quite a lot of similarities. The thing here is maybe not going too much into the detail with the story. There was an attack on the Duke, the Duke's like castle in near Olandia, which was apparently done by a so-called cult, which was called Millenkamp, which was let's say a semi-goddess in the past of Valendia, and the whole castle of the Duke was burned down because, well, he actually told his people to do so.
So, sorry to interrupt you quickly, Dr. Shaw.
Yeah.
I did the skip first try where we do not need to kill the enemies in this room to get up there, which saves quite some time. That was able to first try it, which I normally have huge difficulties with to get runs going because this is the first culprit there. So the room with the lever to jump up there, it was not designed to be possible to jump directly up, but with precise positioning we can do so and ignore the enemies while doing so as well. So just a heads up there. Sorry for interrupting. Go ahead, please.
I, no worries. I think this is, in any case, most of the premise. The main thing is that our main character, Sydney, no, sorry, not Sydney, Ashley, is then tasked by the government to find Sydney which is the leader of the Millenkamp cult, to find out what is going on and why they are infiltrating Learmont. Here was our first boss, a Minotaur, staple boss in Matsuno games. But again, as Eamon has mentioned in the very beginning, yeah, he pretty much one-shots anything in the game with the equipment that he has due to the New Game Plus. So, some of the character development that you've seen here is via stat wheels when you defeat a boss. Other than that, the main character progression is done via equipment that you can also craft. So, now in this wine cellar, this is pretty much the first entry point into Learmont, because any other entry into the city was not possible anymore due to the earthquakes that happened in the past, which pretty much destroyed the city and any connections. And now with this, with the Minotaur out of the way, Eamon can backtrack a little bit and go further into this dungeon to make his way further into Learmont. Maybe something to note there is that
Oops.
the game itself is pretty much a dungeon crawler. Most of the time will be spent inside of dungeons or anything more or less below the ground. There are also quite a few sections, of course, in daylight, but these are more or less, or I guess they attempted to do them as some briefers, more or less, from the dungeon crawling sections, but yeah, the atmosphere still never really tames down, I guess. Here are the first zombies that we encounter. Zombies are staples in Learmont because of all the spirits that are floating around, more or less, because of the earthquakes that happened in the past. Here's our next boss. It's called Dalian. Just a harnish, which yeah, is controlled by evil. But again, as usual with the bosses in this category, he will not live very long.
Yeah, not an intense fight then. I love the build-up before the fight, but in New Game Plus because they're just nice cutscenes. But yeah, over extremely quickly because one-shotting everything there. Maybe also a heads up. I'm using a crossbow, the best crossbow in the game, because it has the biggest range of any weapons. And as we do not need any more damage because we can one-shot already with one of the, yeah, let's say worst weapons damage-wise in the game, we prefer range over anything other of the other stats on this weapon, no intelligence and stuff like that, because we only need the range to do some stuff from afar easily. Oops. Sorry about that.
Oh yeah, there are traps in the game.
Yeah.
In the first playthrough, they might be a little bit of a problem if you don't know where they are. There's of course a spell in the game which reveals them, and also an item, I think, consumable. But yeah, in New Game Plus, of course, they do not pose any threat whatsoever. Here is a mini boss, which is a small ghost, small spirit. In first playthrough, this is actually one of the first sections, I think, which tests the player a little bit, because it teleports around and it deals quite a lot of damage in the beginning. But yeah, if you know what you're doing, then it's quite easy. With that out of the way, Eamon can progress a little bit.
Yeah, the earthquake which just came up made it possible for us to go through this door. So we need to do this enemy to get the earthquake in the first place to progress.
Another box puzzle here. Game likes its block puzzles very much.
Yeah,
Many
no.
people, yeah,
Yeah, no.
the many players didn't like these sections at all. I actually loved them. They were at least a little bit of briefers from the non-stop action, more or less, and this like this depressing atmosphere. But yeah, of course, they are just block puzzles, so not that much to expect from them, I guess.
You maybe sometimes see me going strange ways through or have strange pathing. Some of it is me just not executing the pathing properly, but most of it, the idea is behind to influence the enemy movement. The enemy movement is heavily based on how I myself move through the levels there. And that's why you may see some stuff where it's kind of confusing why I do this in the first place, but it is to reduce any interactions with enemies and stuff like that is the idea behind this.
Yep. Another mini boss. These are two lizard men, which will come up as yeah, smaller mobs later on in the game.
Yeah, we need to do this mini boss to get as you saw, the previous one gave me a yellow item, which are pretty much the progression items like keys and stuff like that, mostly sigils in the game. I need to kill this enemy because he has a nasty spell attack which takes a lot of time to cast. So we kill him because we need to do a puzzle in this room as well. Which is, as you see, an extremely easy one. Nice. Oh. Okay.
Almost.
Yeah.
Okay. So sometimes it's possible to not get hit there by the enemy. Also very dependent, as Eamon has mentioned, on the pathing that he does. And of course, reduces then the time a little bit because of the cast animations and everything. Another block puzzle. They will become. There will be less in the near future. But yeah, in the beginning they throw these around quite a lot so that you get used to them. If you play this game casually for the first time, then this beginning shouldn't be too tough, I guess. But we will then come to a location where the difficulty ramps up quite a bit, where you have more or less a your first brick wall where you need to really get used to the game's mechanics to fight or to properly fight a boss. In this room here with the slime, there is another possibility to get through without getting hit at all, or without having to hit the slime, is by luring it around the corner from the stairs and then jumping up. Then you would have pretty much gone through without any combat interaction whatsoever.
Yeah, in the marathon I don't go for this because it's still easily possible to get a poison attack, and poison is still something which will be annoying, which we have to use a spell against to remove it, because it will otherwise follow us through the whole game and kill us eventually despite all the health we have. So for safety reasons I decided to kill the slime there.
Exactly, yeah. This was the Golem, another boss. Also another staple in Yasumi Matsuno games. And now we are done with the sanctum here.
No,
Then-
okay. There you can see
damn.
the annoying attack which I want. But yeah,
Quite a long cast.
as you just saw, I've got extremely a lot of agility, where pretty much I'm never hit by anything, despite some spells like mentioned before, the poison sneeze which those blobs do have.
Another block puzzle. This one can be skipped to some extent. Amen can aim up there with his crossbow.
Yeah, one of the
jump
reasons
over.
we use the crossbow pretty much. Okay.
Okay, this I
Yeah.
haven't seen in a long time.
Was too early with the jump there,
Yeah.
but luckily.
Usually
Let's
the slime
kill it.
jumps down. Yeah.
Cost some time there. But was too early with the jump over there. Next boss already coming up.
Yeah. This one is this brick wall that I mentioned before. Where you need to learn a little bit the mechanics of the combat mechanics of the game to actually do some damage to it. And also it can one-shot you if you're not careful there. Of course, in New Game Plus, all of this is obsolete. Just hit, and you're good to go.
Just a bolt to the face and yeah. Easy, easy.
Yes. So with that one out of the way, we will now, when Amen opens this door here, we will finally be outside of all these cellars and dungeons for a little bit at least, until the next boss fight. And yeah.
The
This one is-
next boss fight is a bit annoying because of the positioning you need. So you don't lose a lot of time on the conversations which the guys in this, because there are 3 guys in this fight, they will have conversations if you kill them in the wrong order. Okay, I did the proper buffing there to not have this
Nice.
problem which I just mentioned.
Yep.
And yeah, that's this out of the way. The main boss here is this guy, Dwayne.
Dwayne, yeah. By the way, mentioning regarding the story there, these were so-called Crimson Knights, which are the Holy Knights of Valendia, which are also investigating this incident with the Duke and following Sydney into Learmont to find out what's going on. So we have these more or less 3 parties, I guess. The Mullenkamp cult, led by Sydney. The VKP, so the Valendian Knights of... wow. Do I remember it? I actually don't remember it. So yeah, let's just call it VKP from now on. I really don't remember. Which are led by the state itself, so pretty much something like military. And we have the Crimson Knights, which are led by the church. These 3 parties, yeah, periodically clash in Learmont. Because of like same or differing goals that they are following there. Another dungeon. This is the mine, E1. There are several layers to the mines in Learmont, many of which cannot be accessed due to the earthquakes that have been going on. But later on in the game, There are ways, or with New Game Plus, there are ways to also pass through there to some optional late game content. But this is not relevant, not really relevant for this run, because the route itself, I think, doesn't really deviate too much from the any % route or any % no raging egg.
Not a boss
Not a-
head, everyone. What I never got. There's this huge story with politics involved and stuff like that, and we mostly just kill monsters which are not relevant to the story at all, so...
The thing is, lore-wise, they have always been summoned by Sydney to slow down his pursuers. It also shows, this is, I guess, pretty interesting, honestly, from the whole Ivalice timeline. So one of the early, time-wise earliest, or timeline earliest games in the Ivalice timeline is Final Fantasy XII, where there was still magic and everything, and quite a few, I think even thousands of years later, there was Vagrant story where magic was completely prohibited. And the thing there is that, of course, suddenly there's a lot of magic going on in Learmont, so this is also quite of interest to all the parties that have been infiltrating the city. During the course of the game, Ashley here, our protagonist, also learns various spells and so on, which make the game a lot easier, but for this you need to understand its mechanics to exploit all these spells and everything. Like elemental attacks and affinities, other elemental affinities, and affinities with regards to what kind of monster or enemy you're attacking, what kind of weapon you're wearing. Is it a blunt weapon? Is it a piercing, and so on? So it's quite an intricate combat system and equipment system, but not that easy to understand, I guess, in the first playthrough. There are quite a few nuances to it, a lot of stuff that is never explained anywhere, or actually incorrectly explained. So yeah, it hides quite a lot of its mechanics.
Yeah, exactly. Getting this save, this New Game Plus save, with me being extremely huge because of my equipment and stuff. I had a lot of learning to do there to get the proper setups, and that was lots of hours invested in grinding stuff and getting informations about how to properly craft stuff. So not gonna do that again, so I have backups in my Git repository and stuff to never go through that pain again of grinding this stuff if I want to run this game again. Oops.
So yeah, we saw the flame elemental, fire elemental. Quite a lot of different elementals in the city there. And for those, it's of course then relatively easy to guess which element they are weak to, so you can get rid of them a little bit more easily. Okay, another boss. It's Ogre. Easy peasy. Now we leave the dungeon crawling again for just a little bit. and come back into the town center itself.
Well, it's kind of unfortunate that we're in the town center. Sorry, was forgetting in which direction I need to go. This seldom, because I really like the town's design overall. But yeah. I think next is the Undercity, which is pretty much the coolest design in my opinion, because the blue lighting really makes it shine in my opinion. Looks really nice. Oops, double attack, and he will attack most likely as well. Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Not a proper buffing there.
Small jump there. It's actually harder than it looks.
Jumps in this game. Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
The jumps in the game are really finicky sometimes. Especially the first one, which I showed off with activating this ladder. I had some days where I didn't get it for like 50 tries in a row, but fortunately, so far it looks really good. Okay, sorry. Confused guy, wrong door again, sorry about that.
Another boss here. So the design, as Amen has mentioned, of the Undercity here is really, really good. In general, the lighting in this game for PS1 game is incredible.
The graphics are extremely nice. But it is a late PlayStation 1 game, one of the latest, so that's to be expected. And also Square game, of course it needs to look good as well.
Can you feel it now, Mr. Krabs? Okay. Giant crab. A few more of these in the game, but I think after this one, all of them are optional.
Yeah, exactly. All the other ones are pretty much optional, yeah. At least 20%. If you want to do all bosses, then I think 2 additional bosses are in the game, but
with all bosses, you mean with the first playthrough, not New Game Plus?
Did I forget something? I think I'm just confusing myself now by talking. Should stop it. Yeah, go over here, first exit. Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. Confused myself there. I need to go into this store. Oops. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Because Snowfly Forest, I was confused and already thinking ahead. Where we backtrack to here to the Sunless Way. Or teleport here.
So this is this location here is the one that many players, I guess, have don't have very fond memories of, because for many of them this was the part of the game where they quit the game entirely. The thing is, the map, there is an in-game map which is quite handy because of all this labyrinthian design, but it won't help here in the Snowfly Forest because all these exits will teleport you around the map, so it's pretty confusing. Also, when you're defeating your first boss inside the Snowfly Forest, the exits change again. And also here Amen is killing these fairies because he receives fairy wings from them, which are first of all quite useful in a casual playthrough, I guess, but very useful in a speedrun, because they increase your movement speed and by that also, due to momentum, your jumping distance. which is very useful later on in the game to skip certain block puzzles.
Another
So
dragon
these
here.
can save several minutes. Yep, another dragon, Earth Dragon. Most of the dragons in this game are also elementally, how would you say, afflicted, I guess?
They have elemental
element-based.
affinities.
Yeah. So now the direction that the snowflies fly in, so these are these little snowflakes that you see, changes how the exits work. So Amen is navigating through. Pretty easy if you know how to get through. But yeah, in your first playthrough, again, this can be quite hard to make any sense of whatsoever.
Yeah, without a guide, you're pretty much lost, and that was also the idea of this forest too. This one is always a difficult. Yeah, exactly. This side, opposing side.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice. Very good. Not hit there. Not a fire elemental.
We don't really need to kill the fire elementals in this section, but for safety reasons, I just do here.
Thing is that they can spam you with spells, which takes quite some time due to animations. Here also the fairy casts something which takes quite some time.
And I went the wrong way, of course.
Ah, damn, yeah.
So as we don't need any more fairy wings, we don't really kill anything anymore. That's the most annoying attack the basilisks can do, because as you can see, it's a long
Animation.
long animation as well again. Okay.
So, and here is another interesting fight. This is Dwayne's brother Grissom, also from the Crimson Knights. Dies here. And the fight itself is very, very interesting because, as you can see in the back here, there's Sydney, so our main antagonist of the game, which actually aids Ashley here during this fight. Gotta call also this armor.
You can path this. You can go into this fight with a proper pathing. You can skip Sydney from, or Sydney will not cast anything, which costs, of course, time. But we skip this cast, which normally the armor does. Sorry. And good fight overall. Okay, we got through that. I was afraid of that in the run, that I'm not concentrated enough to get through it properly. But that thing done. Never going back to it again.
Yep.
I'm so glad this is not we do not need to backtrack there, because I hate the fly forest.
Now the city walls, and then we will again be back out in the open, just for a little bit.
This is one of the rooms which unlocks only if you kill all the enemies, so that's why I killed them, of course. Other exit, opposing side exit. And if you just hold forward in this room, then the pathing is in a way that the enemies pretty much ignore you. I'm mixing up the rooms. I'm sorry. Need to closer attention. Yeah. Okay.
Here's the keep. This would be the entry point to a very large optional area, but yeah, for the run itself, we don't need anything in particular except for the key that this larger ghost here dropped.
Yep. Mandrake sigil. And then back out again.
Okay. Yeah, so just in a second there we will be back out in the open again. And there will be another boss fight with another human enemy, namely Rosenkranz, which is which says he was also sent by the VKP to investigate. But yeah, Ashley is already a little bit suspicious in the beginning. First meets him at the start of the Snowfly Forest. But yeah, again, one hit, then we're done. This didn't kill Rosenkranz. We would see him later on in the game. But yeah, not anymore gameplay-wise, because we're skipping all the cutscenes. This area here is quite a nice place to do some farming for equipment. Enemies here drop quite good armor. Most of the stuff is of the Hagane material type, so there are also different materials to the equipment. Very intricate equipment system.
Yeah. Which annoyed me when crafting stuff for the run. To get the proper what you want, and that the material must be right, and only certain materials can be combined with other materials to go up in the material level. It's an intricate system, but can take one a lot of time there. We ignore those. Good. Sometimes you also see me jumping. Jumping kind of confuses enemies a bit, which makes it possible for me to get by easily. Here in this room I do it so those are they called Geminis or
I think gargoyles.
Gargoyles, yeah. Do not cast a spell which gives me numb. Numb is something, or paralysis. I think the spell is called Numb Hook. And it gives me the paralysis state, which is really annoying, slows me down extremely. And I would need to cast something or wait for it to go over, but I need my mobility. The next few rooms especially. So I'm doing those jumps to keep them from casting it.
Also regarding the jumps, the thing is why the enemies are confused by it is main reason because they cannot attack you during your jump animations. But Ashley can attack enemies during their jump animations, which is looks quite funny sometimes when they then first like finish the jump and then die afterwards. Quite funny. Also, you can interact with enemies in such a way that they actually follow you and attack other enemies for you, but only in the same room, or that they get confused when they are attacked by other enemies. So quite funny. I think if they had more development time there, they could have really made a lot more out of this. But yeah, as it stays, it's got, I guess, yeah, some funny toys that you can play with, but which are not really useful.
I kill the imps here because they can cast spells which take forever to finish up. And I ignore the Drake Mandrake there.
Yeah. No, the dragon. This is the Sky Dragon.
Sky Dragon, yeah.
Lightning Affinity. Okay. There should be another part coming up with the Undercity.
Oh, give me agility, come on. Come on.
On this character you don't have full agility, right?
Yeah, no, don't. That's why I'm kind of afraid sometimes of, of some spells, because they may still hit if I'm really unlucky. Yeah, back to the Undercity there.
Another dollar, and now it's as the usual mob, common mob. This visit to the Undercity is quite short, because again now we go outside, again into the town center.
Clockwise, sorry. Now Cash Bridge. I hate this one. Of course, instant cast.
Yeah. By the way, because I've just was reminded by it, you can shorten all the cast times a little bit by spamming circles or pushing circle in the right moment, which makes the times a little bit shorter.
Yeah, I always do it
over
with
the course.
X.
Oh, with X also. Yeah, I
X
think
is
you can
possible
use
as
pretty
well,
much
yeah.
any face button there. But yeah, over the course of the run, this can save quite a lot, quite some time, actually.
And
Again, these are all from the Crimson Knights, trying to stop Ashley there.
oh, nice. Got it.
Nice. Manipulated the AI there such that the enemy jumps down immediately, but then cannot attack because of the pathing.
Yeah, because he cannot jump back up. Do we have any announcements or something? Now would be a good time.
Sorry, just had to unmute myself there. Nothing really too important. We got no new donations coming in, but just a quick reminder for everyone that what we're doing here, No Kid Hungry, is a charity dedicated to providing meals for the children in need, as well as supporting food banks, community groups to serve the areas that need it most. So go ahead, make sure to get your donations in. We have incentives, we have prizes. If you're looking to contribute to an incentive, mention the incentive in your donation comment. And all donations go to No Kid Hungry.
Yeah, great charity there.
Absolutely, yeah.
Let's do a donation after the run then.
Me too, yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
now.
another visit to the Undercity. So this boss is quite nice. It's not that hard unless you get hit by it by its aerial effect attack. But yeah, teleports around also. Can be quite hard fight when you first play this game casually. And what it then gives you is the ability to teleport around all the save points that you have found already, which is quite nice. It reduces the backtracking efforts quite a lot.
Absolutely. Without this, I think the run would be like 10 minutes longer or 15 minutes longer, even. But let's lose a word about this mini boss before, which we encountered just before the Lich in the room before. This is one of the enemies where I'm afraid of in this run. Because... Yeah. Do you want to go into it?
Yeah, sure. We can cast Banish, which is pretty much can be the most destructive spell in the game, because it has a chance to. So if it hits, it will completely kill the Ashley instantly. So if the Harpy, mini boss is called Harpy, casts this one, then yeah, even in New Game Plus with all the stats, you can still be hit by it and be killed instantly. Which would of course be not that nice because Amen doesn't do any saves during the run. So yeah, pretty much the hardest boss in the entire run for New Game Plus.
Yeah.
Another armor boss here.
Sorry,
Sorry?
the harpies are in some of the other rooms as well, but I know how to react to them, and I can see if they are going to do something. Of course, you have this, they are getting red and have the speech bubble up top. And I can see with this one, okay, it is not going to annoy me. So I did not need to kill it, fortunately, because it just ignored me. It full on ignored me. But it could be that in some other rooms I will need to kill them to get them out of the way. So, oops, there, over there. Sorry about that.
Okay, now Amen is using this teleportation spell that we got from the Lich boss to do backtracking into the Undercity to get some key items. I think this one is the iron key, if I remember correctly. And also another sigil. I know.
Yeah, here we get the
Unlocked
Clematis
was with the
sigil.
iron key. Yeah, that's the sigil.
Okay.
The debuff, which lowers your intelligence, but of course this doesn't really do anything for us in New Game Plus. And then Amen teleports back to Cash Bridge, which he very much loves.
Yeah.
And
No cast, please, no cast. Ah, yes.
back inside to the city walls. So I think this a little bit earlier. There's also something where I'm usually mentioning the city walls explicitly. They are covered in certain runes or signs, which the Crimson Knights find out to be actual spells. So there's actual spells carved on the city walls. Oh, that would have not been good. Or could have not been good. So there is something very, very strange about this city. And also there must be some kind of reason why it was so devastated by pretty much permanent earthquakes. Not trapped there.
Yeah, we can't get around this trap, but as it is, no damage with how buff we are. So another mini boss coming up here. Cutscene. Skip it, of course. And
so these would have been Nisa and Tiega, which are also Crimson Knights, direct followers of the leader of the Crimson Knights, Guildenstern. And you only have to hit Nisa there to end the fight, because then they flee. They then get attacked by Grissom, which Amen killed in the Snowfly Forest. Why by Grissom? Thing is, when he died, he was possessed by the souls, by some of the souls that are wandering Leamon, and so he also became a zombie.
No, Snowcaster.
Yeah, very lucky.
Cash Bridge is not too bad for me today.
Yep.
So now Limestone
Usually there's-
Quarry.
Yep. There's another elemental here. First water and water elemental that we encounter. Also, the lighting in this room also looks great again.
And
Easy
done.
peasy. Drops another sigil, which we need to use then to get through the limestone quarry.
Just hydrating when encountering a water elemental, of course.
Ah, yeah, very good, very good
Important,
point.
important stuff.
Okay.
Now my most favorite enemies, and I mean this with all my hatred for them. Gremlins are fast, they fly. They also drop weapons, which or can drop equipment, which costs time, and they have some of the most of those spells with extremely long animations, and will use them pretty much instantly when you enter a room. So I will kill most of the gremlins there. These two Dalans I need to kill because the room is locked. And no, it's unlocked.
Yeah. Also regarding the gremlins, and together with many other human type enemies, is that you can actually, and this is one of the main strats, or one of the nice strats in the any percent no raging egg run, also in the any percent run. You would use your combat abilities to actually mute and paralyze them, so that they cannot do anything anymore except for moving around. Looks quite funny, actually.
Ooh.
Wow, that was
Whoa.
a nice one. I mean, would have just been a spell animation probably, but still saving a little bit of time there.
Yeah. We don't want them to do anything because it's a speed run. We don't want to lose any time at all. Now we're pretty much the pain of my existence here.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wow, nice.
First try.
This jump is very, very hard. The developers intended this jump to be done with these blue magnetic blocks that you've seen. But yeah, there is this strat where you can, with pretty much pixel perfect jumping, make the jump without any help by the blocks at all. Sometimes it's actually even easier.
I've lost many runs to this jump because suddenly you spend minutes with not getting it.
Oh,
I
good
gotta
lord.
say, the current time is really good. The run is really, really solid so far.
Oh, nice. That will. A little bit more dungeon crawling until we get to our next location there. Because nothing really interesting. The AI of this ghost is, if you're running through in a straight line, it can't do anything because it just teleports around.
Nice.
Okay, only one hit. Nice.
Oops.
Okay, I
Oh,
haven't
this
seen
froze me off.
7.
Oh.
Nice, perfect.
One of my other hatred jumps in the game. First try as well.
Here's the Snow Dragon, which has, of course, water affinity. I also like that the dragons in this game do not just look different color-wise, but also in general a little bit design-wise. This one has large curled horns. Yeah, they differ quite a lot regarding their horns and the structure of their scales and so on. Look really good. In general, I think all the effort that has gone into like animations and textures, especially for characters and enemies, is very, very, very good.
Absolutely. The graphics are stunning, and I love that we have to do, that we are pretty much forced to do this much of the boss fights, because most of the bosses just look stunning. It's really a nice game.
So what you've seen here is Amen consumed some fairy wings to increase his speed. As you can see, he can make jumps now that he couldn't have without the fairy wing. Very nice also that he got this one first try. This one is another armor type, or not armor type, but another armor enemy. I think it's called Last Crusader.
Yep.
Looks very good. With all the gold and everything. This is another puzzle. Amen needs to actually do this one.
Yeah, it's a really long one, and one wrong move, you have to reset the room and you lose minutes pretty much. So if I'm not doing it extremely fast, this is because I want to be marathon safe here. To not push myself in this culprit.
So the location here is called Temple of Kiltia, which is a god in the world of Valendia or Ivalice. I don't remember if Kiltia was dead or not. I really don't remember.
Temple of Kiltia is pretty much where my runs go to die mostly, because of the upcoming Fairy Wings skip. I'm quite consistent at it, but we have the safety Fairy Wing.
The Minotaur looks really cool with all the runes painted on it.
Of course, getting another key there. And some backtracking, but not that far. We're gonna stay inside the Temple of Kiltia. Also, we're not going to backtrack to any of the previous ones. Previous areas, it's just going ahead from here on out.
Yep. Still, the progression is not linear from now on, because, for example, the upcoming level, the Great Cathedral, is very non-linear. Be very confusing to get around, although it's not that large. But yeah, progression now is just going forward, no backtracking. Oh, damn.
Oh god.
Nice. But yeah,
Nice.
still it's quite non-linear. Very, very nice. Yes, first try. Nice.
Gonna get rid
No
of the gremlin.
gremlins.
We
Here's
wanted
an
to
air
cast.
elemental.
This one's gonna cast as well.
Now this upcoming boss fight is with a statue which comes to life. It's called Kali. Has several arms, several heads, and the thing is, so story-wise, there is another counter directly in this room before the fight with Sydney and Rosenkrantz, where Rosenkrantz is killed by this statue, by this boss here. Statue was summoned by Ashley, because, well, as a means of defense against Rosenkrantz, because Rosenkrantz wants something from from Sydney, some kind of power, which we don't know that much more about. But this seems to be this power seems to be in general the main motive for the Millenkamp cult and the Crimson Knights to actually delve into the city. So this is the Grand Cathedral, or Great Cathedral.
We're gonna be here for quite some time.
It's more or less this dungeon is pretty much the final dungeon. Consists mainly of boss rushes, which is actually quite nice. The bosses in here are similar to the elementals, but these are the actual, how would you say, like the next level of the elementals. Some of them are actual gods. So this one was, what's she called?
Marit.
Merit, yeah, the water fairy.
Yeah. Another
Very nice definer, I have to say, for a fairy, I guess.
yeah. A next one already coming up, a classic from the Final Fantasy series as well. Ifrit.
Yeah. The lighting in this room is so good.
Doesn't look anything like in the Final Fantasy games, so. But I like his design.
Yeah, very imposing.
So. Nice agility too.
Yeah, cool. Okay. And there's another boss coming up.
And now it's really fast, boss after boss.
Yeah.
Then a bit of a break. Put a sensitivity warning.
Ah, yeah. Graphics are so good. This is Jin, the air and element, the greater air elemental, more or less. Getting, I don't think we get the key item here, but some platform is actually activated, if I remember correctly. Yeah.
Yeah, Cloud Sun.
quite a lot of verticality also to this level. I think it has three layers or four even.
I think 4 if I remember correctly. My pathing here is very precise to not run into a poison trap. Because poison traps are not fun.
Another boss here, Fire Dragon.
Okay.
And now upcoming is another skip using the fairy wings.
I'm gonna try to do it without the
Do it
fairy
without,
wings.
yeah.
Nice.
Perfect.
First
Yes.
try. That's a really good run so far.
This is of course another one of those rooms where good. No, it doesn't reset you after this in cutscenes. Yeah, it's one of these rooms where the developers would have or have intended to be done a different way, but yeah, it's easily cheesable. Here, Amen is fetching a few more key items and Cloudstone activations. This is the next level of the Lich boss fight. Just don't remember how it was called.
Mark can't remember either.
I can also cast this this area of effect light attack, which yeah, usually in your first casual playthrough might kill you. So another Cloudstone activated for the progression there. These Cloudstones that you see at the bottom of this room, we will encounter them in a bit. These can be skipped in a quite cool manner, but takes quite some precise timing to do so. Also, this other room here for another key item. I think the Lich itself drops it, then you can leave immediately. Here jumping back over then again to the platform to go back is not that easy actually.
Nice.
Perfect, nice try.
Nice.
Cool. Yeah, the platforming sections in this run today have been quite good.
And I did exactly what I didn't want.
Just put some
I jinxed it before.
Yeah. Yeah, happens.
I'm just confused about my notes, sorry about that. Jump down the pit here. So this is a bit of backtracking inside of the cathedral. Because we can now do some additional stuff with all the stuff we gathered so far. To unlock pretty much the last Cloudstone. Jumping upstairs is a bit faster.
Also something to note here is you can see inside this level itself there's quite some backtracking. And problem is that there are not a lot of save points inside, so you cannot just teleport around that quickly. When you go back through this room, Amen, Can you again try out the skip on the left side?
What?
When you go back outside this room, if you can try this skip on the left side where with the boxes, so that you don't have to use the Cloudstone.
I never did that one. Is that a new one?
MGI did it in her
Okay,
Yeah, on the
I'm not
left
gonna
side.
try it
On the
because I
left.
never did it before.
Okay.
Gotta look this one up. Hey, thanks for informing me about this.
MGI did it in her world record of 20% no raging egg. She has
Nice.
quite a lot of platforming tricks in there.
Gotta get some updates there then.
Mm.
I watched her world record run, the newest one, but I didn't pay any attention to those puzzle rooms pretty much.
Okay. Getting back up there. Level 3.
That's
Nice, perfect.
nice.
Perfect. Some of the jumps look a lot easier than they actually are. Very nice.
Nice.
It's very good, so the skip worked. Or more or
In
less
the other
improved.
direction, it is more difficult, to be honest. So going back from here, I need to do the skip again, but the other way around, which in my opinion is way more difficult.
So this one is Dao, which is the Earth God. Controls gravity. Got another sigil there for progression.
I'm going to prepare properly. Proper setup there.
Nice.
Nice.
Perfect. Nice.
Very, very nice. Yeah, this setup takes a bit of time, but it makes it really way easier for me to hit it. To hit the skip properly. The developers intended you to use a spell to stop the cloud stones from moving, but not gonna do this one.
Another fairy wing section here.
The last one
puzzle.
of the run.
This one is quite hard because very precise not to fall down from this lower platform, but worked out relatively well.
Yep.
And another boss. This is Nightmare, which is the greater dark elemental, more or less. The positioning inside this boss room is quite important. You can save there quite a lot of time, so that you can immediately jump on the cloudstone there.
Yeah, but it's
Hoping
really
that-
difficult. Let's see if I can hit it.
Yeah.
It goes down and pretty much as soon as I can move it goes up again. I think... Nope, didn't get it, unfortunately.
So this is actually quite precise. So regarding the momentum that you need to build up there to properly jump. Not a cloudstone.
Yeah, and we're upcoming soon is the two phases of the end boss. We're pretty much
boss.
finished now.
Story-wise, thing here is that Guildenstern found out what the actual power is that they were after. It is the root inverse, which is this sign that Sydney has carved on his back, which makes him immortal.
Sorry,
Guildenstern-
photosensitivity warning.
Guildenstern carved it out of Sydney's back and put it on his own back, as you might have seen in one of the animations there.
Okay, no more photosensitivity warning here. They really overdid this animation.
Yeah. So this
So-
was the first boss. Guildenstern was overtaken by evil because he would have used the power for evil in general, as he wants to completely wipe out humanity to give the world a clean slate, because the world is full of sins. And this is his second phase. We like to call this one B-Stern or Gilden B.
Because it looks like him, I love it, yeah.
But honestly, I think this boss looks really, really cool. In the casual first playthrough, this one can be quite hard. Also, he has quite a lot of special attacks, which, if you don't know how to best mitigate the damage, are one shot always.
Yeah. This was really annoying in my first playthrough, but yeah, that's the run. Quite a nice time. A bit over 4 minutes from world record there. Was a good run. Now some cutscenes, which we of course continue to skip. Get to the credits. Yeah, that's it from our side pretty much. Thanks for having us. Really enjoyed doing that run. I hope you enjoyed it as well. And yeah, enjoy the rest of the marathon as well. See you hopefully soon again. Bye.
Bye.